Man, I can't believe we're finally playing this one. This won by a astronomical margin in the poll. So I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. And I'm glad this game won, honestly. As much as I love 12, this game has a very special place in my heart. As most of you guys who know me, IRL and stuff that I've said in earlier streams, this is my first ever Final Fantasy that I played. I got it in a dual disc with Final Fantasy VII. So this game it's very, very important to my heart. Very, very near and dear. I love this game with all my heart. I seriously like everything about this game. I love so much. But I've never 100%ed it. Believe it or not, I haven't. And the reason being is that I never beat Penance legitly. I Yojimbo'd him, which I don't really count as 100%. So, yeah, this game just has like a real special place in my heart. I just, everything about this game I love. The Remastered did a fantastic job. For those of you guys that have played the original and are now just seeing the Remaster, you'll immediately tell the updated character models. And the rearranged to Zanarkand. Now, the best version of 2 Zanarkand, in my opinion, is the Distant Worlds version. That, unfortunately, we can't really play. But if you ever have the chance to go to Distant Worlds, it is Arnie Roth's favorite composition. So he usually tries to play it every single Distant Worlds. Okay, I'm hearing there's an audio issue. I'm gonna okay, hold on. Okay. How about now? Is it a little better? Okay, I'm slowly getting it higher. This is about where it says I should be. Does this sound better? Or do you think it's still a little bit too low? You have to tell me higher or lower. Background sound of the game? Okay. Okay. Alright, so how about that? Does that sound good? Is game volume still too quiet? What do you think? I can do something like that maybe? Is that good? I could also raise it higher in the settings tab too for the launcher. If you guys want me to do that, I can. This is good? Okay. As long as there's a good balance between it. Okay. We'll go ahead and we'll roll with this one then. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Alright, that's what we'll go with. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. If you have any other adjustments to settings, please let me know. And I'm going to play with the original soundtrack, but I'm going to jump it back to the arranged every so often.
Listen to my story. This may be our last chance.
Alright. Well, that was 2 Zanarkand, one of the most influential pieces in all Final Fantasy music. And here we begin. We got 10's very realistic version of the prelude. And not realistic, technoist futuristic was the word I was trying to find. The first thing you guys should have noticed was voice acting. What? Final Fantasy with voice acting? Yep, this game implemented that. As you can tell from the background too, it's a little bit nicer looking than Final Fantasy VIII.
Of course.
Alright, let us just go right here. Like so. Right there. Perfect!
Good luck tonight!
Nothing to worry about. Oh, if I score a goal, I'll, do this. That will mean it was for you, okay? What seat?
Ace block in the front row! Fifth from the right!
Got it.
The game volume is really low right now, but I can go ahead and... Alright, let me know how that treats you.
Can you sign this?
No prob.
Please?
Alrighty.
Me too!
Take it easy. Well, gotta go. Cheer for me.
2, 3... Teach us how to blitz!
Hey, I got a game to play.
Then teach us after.
Maybe tonight, well...
You can't tonight.
I mean, tomorrow.
Promise?
Promise.
Remember this.
I was in a coffee shop running away from home when I heard the news. Our hero, Jecht, gone, vanished into thin air. My dad must have been his biggest fan. I knew how sad he'd be. Heck,
Someone
we
gives
all
you
were
a
that
potion if
day.
you talk to them.
Zanar, I says to myself, what are you thinking? I went running straight back home. We sat up talking about Jecht all night. My dad and I never talked so much. Whoa. Didn't mean to reminisce, folks. Anyway, 10 years later, the Jecht Memorial Cup tournament is today. The two teams that have won through to the finals are, of course, the Abes from A East and the Duggles from C South. I know there's a lot of people out there today to see the star of the Abes. In just 1 year, he's become the team's #1 player. He's Jack's blood and the new hope of Blitzball. What kind of super play will he show us today? Will we see his father's legendary shot? I don't think I'm the only one excited here, folks.
I don't know. I love everything, the ambience, just everything about this
way,
opening.
make
So
way.
you'll hear my commentary is not gonna, a little bit non-existent, pretty much,
Hey!
for the first bit of this game. So you guys can experience it just like I did all those years ago. So as you can tell, good things are happening. I just love the opening of this game so much. It's definitely up there with one of my favorites. Not Type 0 tier, but it's up there.
Oren! What are you doing here? I was waiting for you. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's very epic.
It begins.
What?
Don't cry.
What the? Huh? Hey, wait! Not this way.
Look. We called it sin.
Sin?
Alright, also this Final Fantasy is going to be more of a lackluster gameplay opening than 8's Triple Triad Massacre. This game we're going to be playing very legitly. Level grinding and all.
Take it. A gift from Jack.
My old man?
Yeah, it's like this game's definitely a lot more linear as well. But it's
I
a
hope
good
you know
linear.
how to use it. These ones don't matter. We cut through.
You guys have a chance to look at the battle menus here. So it's turn-based, and instead of an ATV gauge, this game is true turn-based, as you can see. Also, there are some mods in this game. We have ×4 speed, ×2 speed. We have all. That's basically your god mode. Enemy encounters you could
Don't bother
change.
going after all of them. Cut one
Auto
back
battle
and
you
run.
turn on or off. You can go ahead and hide the HUD, and that's going to be all of them. So the mods in this are going to be very, very useful for later on, specifically grinding. I'm not going to go ahead and use them. I may use the frequent encounter, but I will never. You will never see me once use the turbocharge mod, because that is the supercharge mod is like just limit breaking every hit. That's for the cheater dog. We want to play this game legitly. We got our first boss of the game, and those of you guys, as you learned from Final Fantasy VIII, this boss can't kill us. This boss is only going to cast Demi/Gravity, and that only does 1/4 of your health, so
Get out of my
no matter what, it will not kill you. I'm on an Xbox controller. Is it going to be... Okay. I was going to say, is it going to be relative to that? Yep, I was gonna say, yeah, it worked halfway decent there. Didn't work so good there. I don't think Power Break gives you a boost in damage, but yeah, this is definitely a top. If I were to play my top 5 games, it'd be Final Fantasy Tactics at the first slot, Final Fantasy 7 and 10 for 2 and 3, and then probably Nier and that's tough. Nier, and then either Let Us Clean Together or Type 0. Those are like probably my top 5 games of all time. But this is easily in that slot. Yeah, Type 0 is easily a top 5, top 6 game for me. If that game actually had budget, man, it would be a top 3, top 4. Yeah, the limit breaks are a lot cooler, and they are not just let's spam Renzokuken. It's very technical, as will be explained when we get all the party members. This is also how you save, is you use these save spheres. These are my old save files. As you can tell, I put a little bit of hours into this game. I haven't played since 2017 was the last time I played it. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a new save file. Something I'm gonna do, just because I've never done it before.
What are you laughing at, old man? Alright, let's get out of here.
I'll show you.
Huh?
It'll be explained in a little bit.
Give me a break, man.
I must have been a senior in high school. If it was 2017, I didn't see the month of last time I've played it, but I was probably a senior in high school. Maybe I had just graduated when I beat this game. Can't believe it's already been 2 years, man. Everything about this flows very, very well. I didn't see the months, but if I was already out, then I must have just have graduated. I can't believe I sunk 42 hours into this game and still didn't even beat it. Like 100%
Knock it down.
You'll see achievements aren't going to pop up that common on Steam, just because I already have pretty much all of them, except Perfect Sphere Grid and like a few others, whatever. We're going to be getting that this time, though. The old 100% maneuver. I also bought this game on the Switch, too. So I have so many copies of this game, it's disgusting. I think I probably have like 8, 9 copies of this game alone. Every time it gets re-released, remastered, I always buy it. Look at that leap! Duncan from the three-point line.
Sure. This is it. This is your story. It all begins here. Hey. Hey.
As you can tell, this is
My old man?
this is a little bit of a different type of opening than Final Fantasy VIII. And now with the voice acting, you know. For those of you that have played the city, you may recognize this location. If you can, try and wipe it from your memory or keep it in there. This place may or may not be the place of some importance later on in the game.
I thought about a lot of things. Like where I was, what I got myself into.
One of my favorite parts of this
started to
game
feel
is
lightheaded,
Tidus's
and
inner
then
dialogues and monologues.
sleepy.
He gives like a lot of
I think
insight,
I had a dream.
and it's really interesting
a
to
dream
see.
of being alone.
just
I
his
wanted
different perspectives
someone,
on things.
anyone beside me, so I didn't have to feel alone anymore.
And you'll get that a lot. Trust me. He's a talker. He talks a lot, and you get a lot of his insight on things, and you really feel attached to the character as a result of that.
Anybody there? Oren! Hey!
Alright, so something I'm going to go ahead and do is, and I actually haven't done this before, but spoiler slash spoiler. Like I said, I'll use the arranged soundtrack sporadically. This portion of the game, I guess I can go ahead and use it for, just because there's parts of it where it sounds good and parts of where I don't like. Overall in all, like side by side comparison, I appreciate the original more than I do the arranged, but the arranged did a better job in. Well, I like the battle theme of the arranged better. I like the Sade better. There's a few other songs that I like, but Wandering Flame, Challenge, all of those. Alright. So, what we just did there is, in the other, because I've played this game so many times, there is this thing called the Al-Bed, and like I said, spoiler, non-spoiler, they're basically just like a race of people and they have their own language. You could find different dictionaries that will allow you to speak the language throughout the world. Since I've already beat this game, I'm going to go ahead and just compile my dictionaries that I have from my other playthroughs, so we'll be able to speak it from the start. It will provide a little bit more insight to what characters are saying as opposed to just random mumbo jumbo. And
What do we have here?
so you'll see why that will be important in a little bit. But yeah, some of the other achievements in this are just like a perfect sphere grid. We already have the one for the perfect Al-Bed dictionary, but we're gonna do that anyways. But it will provide a little bit more insight, and I don't think I've ever actually played the game understanding Al-Bed from the start. So specifically, like portions coming up are gonna be give me a little bit of a new insight. So as you can see, it took me 43 hours to get to the end of the game, and that's without 100%ing. So this game is for sure, and I pretty much played the whole entire game on ×4 speed. This game is going to be very, very time consuming. I know that I'm going to be starting up uni soon, but my goal for this game is to beat it by December, so that way we could start the 7 compilation. This and 10-2 I both want to beat by December. That gives us about, 3 months to do so, and I'm very, very positive we can do that. Like I was saying earlier, the ambience of this game is what really, really drives it home for me. There's a lot of really, really good stuff that came out of this game, and a large part of it is the ambience. Whether it be the music, whether it be the environments, characters, everything, they provide a really, really good story. And just the ambience, the environments, everything. We're going to get our first look at the battle theme here. Of course, the remastered battle theme. Yeah, it's tough to say which rendition of the battle theme I like better. I'm really stuck between the two. Both are fantastic. One kiss. I didn't even know you could get a preemptive strike off of this fight. Doing some big damage.
I had made it out of the frying pan and into the freezer. I thought I was gonna die in this place.
Alright, I want to go ahead and go back to the original soundtrack. Just want to show you guys a little bit of the difference. One of the reasons why I rate this as being like my favorite remaster of all time is jump scare warning. Is because just everything is so good. The remastered soundtrack, they did the same thing with 12, the updated character models, the fact that we got a lot of the stuff that has never been in the US before in this one. Penance, the Dark Aeons, I think Nemesis, just everything. They went off with this remaster. And like I said, the remastered soundtrack itself, the arranged, is
Fire.
is very good for some of the songs. Challenge and Wandering Flame in particular, I wasn't too much of a fan of. Some people are, but nothing can beat the OG Challenge. Same thing with Wandering Flame. Like this song, I like better remastered than I do in the original. And the textures, everything is just so fluid. Everything just looks so nice. You know what I'm more of like a fan of in total is us getting content that has never been in the US before. The same thing they did with Final Fantasy 12, which I haven't beaten yet, is the trial mode, in which at the end of the trial mode at floor 100 you fight against all judges at the same time. Zargabath, Draven, Draven, Zargabath, Drace, Gabranth, Bergen. I think I'm missing one. You fight against all of them. It's considered one of the hardest fights in all of Final Fantasy 12. Actually, in all of Final Fantasies, the floor 100 of trial mode. This game has one of the hardest fights in Final Fantasy as well. If you were to put everything on a tier list, they usually say that Penance is right behind Ozma, who's right behind Yasmat, who's right behind the trial mode of Final Fantasy 12. So two of the hardest fights in all of Final Fantasy are in the same game, if you could believe it. This one has Penance, which is very comparable to Ozma, though, because everything can go wrong with Penance, just like how everything can go wrong with Ozma. Ozma is going to be a ride. I still haven't beaten that stupid orb, and we're gonna have to. Just like how I haven't beaten Penance legitly, or I haven't beaten Nemesis legitly, or the Omega weapon in this game. But you know what? We will. I've played this game too many times to not 100% it by now.
I need food. What do you want?
It was a bad call. Your team lost because of you.
Go
You
off.
came to say that?
Oh.
It's been 10 years.
I'll let this finish, hold on.
I thought you'd be crying.
Who, me?
You cried.
If you have any questions on the plot, please let me know. This game is not as convoluted as Final Fantasy VIII. I will say that much. What you see at the beginning is what you expect by the end, to say the least. 8's like, I'm gonna be an assassin and go on this boat and invade this
Hey,
country that is under sovereign
Don't go out on
tyranny.
me.
And then at the end it's like, I'm going to
Just
jump
hold
on the
on.
moon
I'll
to
get
fight
what
a
I want.
sorceress flying who's in a space station. This game is, you see what you get. It's just, as Chad said earlier, it is linear, more linear. And you will not see
Give me a break.
any side quests until pretty much the game. Like, the side quests and the openness is comparable to Final Fantasy 13, where it's like at the very, very end of the game, right before final boss, the game opens up completely. But up until that point, like you don't have free roam like we did in 8 when you get Balam Garden flying and we were able to go to the Shumi village and do all that. You will not see that here, which some people don't like because every Final Fantasy before it has had that open world part to it. But I mean, since this is a top 3 game, you guys already know my stance on it. I couldn't care less. Now with 13 though, that game was just god awful. I never realized you could see her eyes there.
You on my side? Cool.
Oh, how important this character will become later on with the old mix. Okay, I've never thought that said character who will not be named was never wearing pants.
Phew. That was close. Hey, let me go.
Redek Drak! Ifin, Irisa, Tekiaka! Bak, Edeku! Gemed?
Fed! Trivida Grisa!
Dralmia, Drakisha Tate.
Ich bin Petit. Verpuneket verdrick. Kuno.
So there you go, there's a little bit of that other language in this game. But since we already compiled our alphabet dictionary, you will see translations the whole time. Yeah, I didn't know what was actually said there. There's quite a few times that I don't know what's really been said. Once you get like half of the dictionaries, you have a rough estimation. You can kind of piece things together. But when you have all of them from the start, it just makes it a lot easier. You don't have to go ahead and do letter searching.
Hey, that hurts.
Musujek, right?
Whoa. Okay.
Brother? Brother man.
Kindness.
Right, whatever.
Tuli Hood Kabeg?
I said I don't understand.
Fed! He said you can stay if you make yourself useful.
You understand me? All right, I'll work.
Oh, almost.
So this is going to be our level up system. I will kind of show you guys how this is different from any other Final Fantasy. Now this is as contested as the draw system in what terms people like or do not like. I personally love the sphere grid system because you can make your character so broken that it is insane. You know how, like, if I were to play Final Fantasy 9, you know what? Yeah. I'll say 8 because we just beat that, so we'll not spoil anything. Final Fantasy 8. No matter how much, well, you saw, we got Squall to level 100. We got everyone to level 100. Squall could never learn how to use blue magic, just like how Irvin couldn't learn how to use Beat Rush or Dolphin Blow. In this game, the level systems are all connected. Kind of a really interesting thing to do with the plot, too. So every time you level up, as you can see, you get a move slot, as designated by the S level 1 over there. As time goes on, you go ahead and get more move slots, and then you have, hold on, there's the button I was looking for. This is all stats that you put into leveling. No joke. By the end of this game, we are going to have all of this filled. As you can see, there is a lot more abilities than just 99/100. So the real max level of this game is somewhere in the 255. Every character that we unlock is going to start at a different location. For example, a certain someone who knows white magic, I wonder who that could be, is going to start here, and is going to start with Cure, Esuna, and then you're going to be able to get the affinity stuff. Once we break these down by either winning different tournaments or whatever, you can go ahead and move Tidus down here, like so, and now Tidus is going to be on said character who cannot be named's path. Meaning, we could double over and have Tidus become a white mage. Or, where are you? I think, if I remember correctly, she was towards the bottom half. Certain someone who's going to be our black mage for this game, right? We can go ahead and get, I almost said a certain name. Well, we can go ahead and get Tidus down here, and he could become our black mage. Or you can get so broken that you could have the black mage take Tidus and Kimar, or another character who cannot be named's path, and they could become the main fighter. There's so much customization. By the end of the game, the characters are so broken, it's insane. Provided that you go ahead and max all this, of course, but, you know. From here, you could go ahead and press Y and look at stats. Tidus is pretty basic. So-and-so over here, Same exact thing. They don't really have too many abilities. And their strength and stuff like that isn't really comparable as well. Yes, Lulu is the Black Mage. So, you also have different overdrive modes. We'll talk about that at a different time. You can go ahead and look at statuses, abilities, and whatnot. And that's going to be it for the menus. Anyways,
We found some ancient. It's not active now, but there should still be some power left.
that is going to be pretty
We're
much
gonna go down there and activate
it for the tutorial. This game is
and then
very
we should be
simple.
able to salvage the big prize.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get to work.
Roger.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go down here into whatever this could be. As you could also tell, you have full control underwater in terms of your height, how fast you swim, and everything like that. It's a full 3D roam too, so you got everything. Also, be forewarned, random battles can happen. Don't get jump scared if the screen cracks. I promise it's not the actual computer breaking. We're gonna first get our first look at XP as well. So, as you can see, that was only worth 1 XP. We killed 9 more of those and we would get a level up, meaning we can go ahead and move Teeds on the sphere grid. We don't really need to do that right now though, because there's no point to level grind when we're not even out of the tutorial, really. Well, anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to do tonight. I just wanted to start this game, finish My Life as a King. That had a pretty unfortunate ending, but we'll have to go back and 100% that one, I guess. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for joining tonight. Maybe I can't go back. Hold on. Okay, well.
We'll go as soon as you're ready.
I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. By the way, we do get a potion there, and then we'll go ahead and get something there later. Well, anyways, thank you guys. This game is going to be the forefront of everything as time goes on. It's been almost 2 years exactly since I played this game. I had just turned 18. Wow. Just out of high school. Crazy. Alright, well, thank you guys so much. I'll be back with more Final Fantasy X Remastered tomorrow as we go ahead, and this will be the full focus of our bit until December, and we're going to work on the compilation of Final Fantasy VII for the most anticipated game of all time, the 7 Remake. Thank you guys again. Have a nice night. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed everything today. We had the State of Play, we had My Life as a King, and now we got this. So, a lot of stuff happened today. Thank you guys again. Have a nice night, and I will see you back here tomorrow.